Here we are, folks, back again. It's our joy, our pleasure, and please join with us. It's learning time, time to hear from God, listen to what He has to say. So we're ready. Are you ready?
Ready.
See if you can answer before Nancy answers the question. Chapter 6 of the book of Acts, the actions of the apostles. Chapter 6. What was the number of the disciples doing at this time?
They were multiplying.
Multiplying. I like that. We would love to see that happen today, but it takes a lot of teaching. Now, you know, these people had a measure of faith around Jerusalem at this time because they had grown up with the Old Testament law. And they were aware of God, I would say, a whole lot more than our society is today. So I conclude that it takes more teaching now to build a faith that wants to obey. So if we could have the numbers multiply today, it'd be wonderful, but it's going to take a lot of work. Next, what problem had arisen in the church?
Well, they found that the widows were being neglected and they needed help.
Yes. They were mindful of their own, and remember throughout the scriptures, God has always been careful of the widow. And that's important for us today. The orphans and the widow. Remember, James teaches that pure religion and undefiled before God the Father is this. And then he enumerates those who are widows and incapable. So this is to be a part of our faith also. What was the 12 apostles' solution for this?
Well, they decided that they should appoint some people, some men, qualified men, to care for this so that they could continue their preaching and their other things. So they appointed 7 qualified men.
Yes, understandable. Next question. Did this please and satisfy the situation?
Yes, it took good care of it.
It's good sense. Kind of like the Jethro advice to Moses. You can take on too much, Moses. You need to let others. So delegating is a very appropriate thing. Equipping the saints and delegating and letting others participate in the work of God. Did this help increase the church?
Yes, sure it did.
Yes, it did. It would. It always does, because it takes care of God's work properly. Stephen had spoken mightily for Jesus, so what did they do with him?
No, they had to bring him before the council.
You appreciate Stephen speaking out for the Lord. I think too many times we're bashful and shy and don't speak up, but that wasn't Stephen. A good example of being proud to say the things of God. The very last question we've got for this particular chapter, they falsely accused Stephen, but his face looked like what?
It was glowing like the face of an angel.
Verse 15, and all that sat in the council, looking steadfastly on him, saw his face as it had been the face of an angel. Well, you know, Moses' face glowed when he came down from the presence of God. And Stephen kind of repeats it here in his way. So when you stay close to God and speak up for our Lord and do the things that are godly, they will take note that you have been with Jesus. How about that? I like that. I think you will too.